There's a terrible problem on YouTube right now, and it's called ChatGPT thumbnails. So before I go into that, I'll claim some quick credibility. This is what we do with channels. We step in for large entrepreneurs and we blow them up and we get them great results. This is just the YouTube statistics, but we also made him hundreds and thousands of dollars on the back end with his product. Well, credibility claimed. By the way, I might die in this video and my laptop might explode because I'm in the sun with 35 degrees. So if I disappear, that's the reason why. Okay, let's start. The ChatGPT thumbnails don't have to be ugly, like this. Well, this one you can clearly see it's ChatGPT, but this one you don't clearly see it. But based on the font, the text font, I can see it's ChatGPT. It doesn't have to be ugly, okay? That's not a problem. I will reveal the problem later on, but I will explain it in layers so you can understand it from a YouTube expert perspective, and then you also know what to do. So it doesn't have to be ugly. It doesn't even have to perform poorly. Like, these are outliers. This one is even a very big outlier, but you can clearly see, at least I can clearly see, these are AI thumbnails. This one is not a big outlier, but I was scraping my YouTube homepage to find AI thumbnails, and this was one of the thumbnails that I found, and I was too lazy to look for more. So it doesn't have to be ugly or perform terribly. So what's the problem? One big problem is that it ruins true creators. So this is Jack Hopkins, 209,000 subscribers, big guy on the finance space. This was one of the thumbnails that he used. This, like dead ass, he used this. And I left a hate comment because I think this is embarrassing. And he changed it, maybe after seeing my comment, maybe not. But he changed it to this. Way better, looks way better. But this is not really specifically a problem, like this video would just flop and that's it. But the problem is that this is his normal channel. I hope that my face cam is not in the way. This is a normal channel. Look how aesthetic and good everything looks. Like, this guy's a true creative. He lives for this thing. I think his product that he sells is also YouTube or social media based. You can't use this. Like, this is AI slop. And then he changed it to something way better that's not AI slop, but he actually used this. That's embarrassing. For someone with such a high standard, that's just laziness and probably trying to save money and time on thumbnail designers. But it shows, and yeah, it looks terrible. So that's a short-term problem. Like, it looks terrible, it's embarrassing, and it ruins true creators. But what's the long-term negative? Well, this is the guy that I showed in the beginning of the video. Everything will start to look the same. So this is just one guy's channel, and you see how ChatGPT always makes it super busy and kind of dark and kind of ugly, like yellowy, ugly, a little bit filmy, if you will, but not in a good way. It just makes it slightly dark, too much shadows, not enough contrast, too much shadow. Like I said, it's just, and busy, very busy. Like, ChatGPT always tries to put a bunch of shit in the thumbnails if you give him creative freedom, or if you want to call ChatGPT a him, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it will also start to look the same, and even if you go to these, you can see on the aesthetic that it's all the same blurry, kind of ugly style. It's not HD at all, not sharp and HD at all. Okay, so that's a long-term problem. I think a problem for you is that the algorithm and people are going to notice this, and I think people already notice this. That's also why you're still watching this video, and they're not going to click anymore. They're going to see this slob, and they're going to think, okay, I don't know who this guy is and what he's trying to do, but I'm not going to click because this is clearly made with AI, and that seems lazy. And people always have a big ego. They don't want to waste their time. And if they start to notice that people are lazy and they use AI for everything and they don't try to put in effort and maybe revenue to pay a designer, they're going to stop clicking because they feel like they're being betrayed in a way, if that makes sense. So they're going to start to click on only HD channels that actually, even if it's only $20 for a thumbnail, people just want you to do that effort. So it feels like it's also worth their time. Like, if you're not putting in effort to make the video, why should I put in effort to watch your video, you know? So one of the HD channels that I saw, there's a bunch of them that still pay thumbnail designers, but there's also a bunch of them that I constantly see pop up on my homepage that look terrible. This is one of them. You see Super HD, a thumbnail designer clearly made this. His face is not blurry or ugly. His background is HD, sharp, clean. The colors are different. This is not made with AI. Maybe the visual itself is made with AI, but the font, the text, and the face are put in at least manually. One other example, maybe even a better example, how good a channel can look is Paul Saladino. His views are not crazy, but he gets views and he has his purpose in the YouTube ecosystem. This is definitely made with a thumbnail designer. This just looks super clean. It just looks professional and it stands out. HD, sharp, polished, aesthetic, clearly put in effort. Someone made this that he paid. This is not made with AI slop. Then one of the guys that we work with, I showed this guy's backend on the beginning of this video, and I made these, and this is made with AI. You might say, huh? How? I can't see that. Well, you can see it a little bit, but I know what I'm doing, and I know how to not make it bad, which I will go into in a minute. But this is also made with AI, but this is HD. That's also why it still works, still outliers, and people never comment like, oh, this is AI slop, because they don't see it. Because certain AIs are a few steps ahead, but you need to know how to use them, and I know how to give the AI guardrails to make good stuff, but you can still see it. So it's never spotless. It always gives away that it's AI, even when you're very good at it, like we are. You can see it. So what happens? What do you need to do, and how can you solve this for your own channel? Even if you don't want to pay a thumbnail designer, and if you want to do it like I do, like we do with the agency, to still use AI but not make it look like slop. Okay, so the biggest problem with AI is that if you do it in layers, and I use pixels for example here, I use ChatGPT, and that's really the only two that I use. What you do is you get an example and you recreate it with the face and the background of the creator, but then if you make a change, the face fucks up. Do you see the difference? Like this is already a little bit AI. Oh, my laptop is gonna explode, I swear. Anyway, this is sharp-ish. He's just old, so his face is also not that clean anymore. That's also just elderdom, if that's a word. And then this is, if you see another layer of AI. Oh, you see my laptop is lagging. I hope it's fine. That's another layer, and then if you change another thing, so I remove the plant in the background, there you see it fucks up the face. It's actually terrible. You can't use this if you change small things. So let's say you don't want the books in the background, or you want to remove the plant, or you want to change the lights. The face gets blurry and fucked up, and the sharpness it removes the sharpness, and the quality just goes down. Like if you go back to this dude, you see how sharp this is and how clean this is. If you go back to this face here, you can clearly see that a few layers of AI, a few changes, it fucked it up completely. I'm gonna go inside because I think my laptop is gonna explode. Okay, I'm back. So you can see clearly it fucks up the face, few layers, few changes, and it just removes all quality. So that's a big issue. And just everything. Also the suit, but that's just not that noticeable. You just notice it a lot with the face, but everything gets worse, like quality overall. I make like 50 thumbnails per week, so I know. I know that those things fuck up because, I get paid if I do it well, and if I don't do it well, then I don't. So I need to make sure it's HD and shit. There's two solutions. There's two solutions to this issue. One solution is you pay a thumbnail designer. So that's what I did at first, and that's what we might get back doing, just because we are a white glove agency. We are top-end, super expensive white glove agency, so the clients just want the best quality, and if we can't deliver that with AI, we have to hire experts, as in thumbnail designers, to do that for us, and we just give the ideation and everything. These are 3 thumbnails that I instructed a thumbnail designer to make. This is one. And this was one for Harvey, one of my best friends. He also has a channel. And this was one for Robert Kiyosaki that we also work with. You see the difference. You see the difference between, between this, like 3 layers of AI and it got fucked up, and how sharp this is. Sorry, Harvey, for zooming in on your face like that. It's a difference. It's a world difference. It's completely different. So that's solution one. 20, 30, 40 bucks for a thumbnail. And if you post twice a week, that's 80 bucks a week for thumbnails, which is annoying, but it's, at least you get good shit. If you make it yourself, people will notice it. Like this guy. People notice this. It's lazy, it's ugly, it's not going to perform like you see. It's not really performing. People notice it, and you're not going to get the result you want. Let's say you have a ticket, you have a product for your business that you're selling via your YouTube videos. That product is $2,000. Someone that's going to pay you $2,000 for your product is not clicking on this AI slope. So the 40 bucks that you're investing to get thumbnails like this and this is always worth it. Solution two, if you're ignorant and you don't want to do this, or you're poor and you can't do this, then you pay a thumbnail designer once for a face, like here. You pay him once, make me a thumbnail, use this face, obviously pick a thumbnail where his face is like clean and you can cut it out with AI cutting tool or something. And then you just use that face everywhere. Like you can ask AI like ChatGPT or Pixels or Gemini or Grok from Twitter to put in the face naturally, and it will usually do it quite well. And it works. This is what I did. Like this was 6 months ago. And it worked at the time because AI was not really that advanced here. So I just had this one face that I used everywhere, and that works completely fine. People can't notice the difference, and they don't care if it's the same face. So that's another option. Okay, so I hope you understand the problem a bit better, how this can play out in the future. And even if thumbnail designers, if AI thumbnail tools will get better, it's still good to know all this stuff, and that you now know that you need to look for these things, the layers of the mistakes that you're fixing to get a better thumbnail, that the face can get fucked up, and how to solve it, like in your own manual, Photoshop or whatever tool you're using to make pictures. Or you pay a thumbnail designer to put the last pieces together, and then he might do it cheaper for you because he doesn't have to make the thumbnail completely. Now you at least know what to look for when you're making a thumbnail, and that it doesn't look like AI slop, and that you can kind of get away with it if you're doing it in a cheaper way, or you're just ready to pay for it, and that's your solution. Thanks for watching. Watch this video. I think it's here. If you want to see more about YouTube, I'm sure you're going to like that one too.